From someplace over Vatican City, this is the Space Dog Radio Show. I'm the Space Dog. Thank you for tuning in. Space Dog Radio is your remote location radio station, coming to you 24/7 around the planet and throughout the universe from SpaceDogRadio.com. You can also find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Twitter at Space Dog Radio. Shouts out to our business partners. Rainy Days Coffee on Main Street, Lake Stevens, Washington. Fantastic coffee, baked goods, and plenty of sarcasm. Moonshine in Linwood, Washington. The biggest selection of moonshine flavors this side of the moon. The Speakeasy, 609.5 Taylor Street, Portland, Oregon. No better way to speak than to speak easy. Rick's Roadhouse, Highway 101, Rockaway Beach, Oregon. Rockaway Beach's Rockin' Place. And The Big Smoke in Ormond Beach, Florida. Your premier location on the Space Coast for great cigars and accessories. Shouts out to our dedicated listeners, Mukadeel to Melbourne, Conrad to Kiev, Toronto to Tachikawa, Barcelona to Berlin, Durban to Detroit. There's way too many to mention, but we know you're out there and thanks for all the support. Well, it's Easter Sunday, and so congratulations on that. Time to nuke a peep. That's right. Yeah, you take those chocolate, or take those little candies, the peeps. Go get some right now. I'll wait. Go ahead. No, really, I'll wait. All right, you got your peeps. Now, take the peep, take it out of the plastic, put it in the microwave, put it in there for 30 seconds, and see what happens. Those things get huge. Talk about having a blast. That's my favorite thing to do on Easter. So it is Easter Sunday, and Christians around the world are celebrating. But beyond all the chocolate bunnies, colored eggs, peeps, and money flowing into churches, there's a very real set of questions that loom, yet are ignored by many religious believers. These are the questions that surround the facts that put into question the actual death of Jesus Christ. While there's no question an individual named Jesus was crucified, the question is the story of his death, as it is depicted in the Bible. Also in question is how Jesus actually lived between the age of 14 to 29 years old, which many indicate is when he was traveling to India and studied Buddha. Now, the church took about 500 years to mull this over and figure out how to finally depict it in the Bible. The final version, of course, Jesus rose from the dead. The New Testament is not from first-hand accounts, however, rather literature, so it could be doubtful and inaccurate. If this is the case, it's the base for Christian religion, and if it is false, Christian religion in itself could be questionable as the existence of the Easter Bunny. Like I said, a man named Jesus was crucified, but why? At the time, being crucified was a form of death given to slaves or revolutionaries, not for religious beliefs. So why was Jesus crucified? Was he a slave or revolutionary? The Bible does not indicate this. Of the 50 Gospels written after Jesus' death, only 4 made it in the Bible. Why is that? According to the Dead Sea Scrolls found in 1947, Jesus was in fact part of a revolutionary group, the Essenes, where he and perhaps John the Baptist lived together. The Essenes were religious revolutionary fanatics, which explains why perhaps Jesus was crucified. Okay, so Jesus was crucified. Okay, now that is the most cruel and painful method of death the Romans could make people do. Most people would die after days on the cross, not from bleeding, but from suffocation. And this is because the pure weight of the lower body compressed the chest, making breathing impossible. Why is that an important fact? Because most people died on the cross after 3 days. It was indicated Jesus died the same day after hours of being on the cross. Yet, he rose from the dead. A wealthy man provided the cave where Jesus was taken after he was crucified. The man, by all accounts, was Jesus' wealthy uncle. His body was visited by his wealthy uncle and people bearing lotions and supplies. Was it possible Jesus did not die on the cross? Is it possible his great uncle and others treated Jesus' wounds, and in fact, he was not dead? This explains how he emerged as living after his death. In 1887, Russian author Nicholas Notovich wrote that he found proof that Jesus did study Buddha in India. How could it be a child could travel from Palestine to India 3,000 miles? It would have been possible on the trade route through Pakistan and Afghanistan. This would explain why Jesus' teachings are so similar to those of Buddha. Yet this fact was probably ignored by those who wrote the Bible about 40 and 100 years after Jesus was killed. After all, the church would not be able to contain power if it suggested Christianity and Buddhism were practically the same thing. The life of Jesus adds to more mystery from the Bible, which claims a virgin gave birth, a guy built an ark and saved all the world's animals, and a man walked on the water. The Bible, which religion is based on, is full of factual questions which theologians and scientists alike agree cannot be true. And, if that is the case, why do so many people blindly follow its words? In America, there's about 160 million Christians. The second largest group, 9 times larger than those claimed to be Jewish, are 30 million non-seculars. How that number can be ignored is difficult to understand, especially as the religious right parades their power, claiming they are the ones who are truly right, while those who don't believe in the Bible are all wrong. If you want to believe Jesus, quote, died for our sins, end of quote, rose from the dead, and all the other things in the Bible, that's fine. That goes for any religion. Follow it if you want, as long as you don't hurt other people, animals, or the planet in doing so. But for those of us who live a fact-based life as non-secular, agnostic, or atheist lifestyles, whatever you want to call it, leave us alone with your holier-than-thou condemnation of us. We don't need to believe in your God, whatever it is, to be good. History and facts show plenty of religious fanatics have and will do more harm to this planet than non-believers ever will. So happy Easter. Do you have any questions or comments about this? If so, I'd like to hear from you. Visit our website at spacedogradio.com, and as always, you can follow us on Twitter at SpaceDogRadio. From someplace over Vatican City, this has been the Space Dog Radio Show. I'm the Space Dog. Thank you for listening. Be safe, be happy, and I'll catch you next orbit.